Hi, my name is Tara Miko. Welcome to my kitchen. I am the owner of Happy Hemp, a organic hemp seed company. Today we're gonna make just a simple clean bruschetta and we're gonna spice it up with a little bit of health from Happy Hemp. One of the reasons I started this company is because I wanted to be happy. I'm trying to strike a balance between a full life and a happy plate. Let's get started. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna grab 2 tomatoes. I have some fresh organic tomatoes that I picked up at the farmer's market. We're just gonna give them a dice. So one of the biggest questions I always get asked about hemp seed is, really honestly, what is it? So hemp seeds are full of omega-3, 6, and 9, essential fatty acids, and actually, I love this, there's more protein in hemp seeds than meat, fish, or tofu. So what do you do with them? You add it to your diet daily. 2 tablespoons is all you need, and it's great for digestion, it's great for insomnia, it's great for weight management. Who doesn't need that? Also, when you take it consistently, it's great for cholesterol, it's great for aiding in immune deficiency disorders, and basically overall well-being. The one thing about hemp that you should know is that yes, it is healthy, and yes, it is a superfood, but all of that being said, it actually tastes good. And I know many people don't believe me, but this moist seed is kind of like a sunflower seed or a pine nut. So you don't really have to overthink it when you add it into anything. So what am I gonna put it into? You can do cereal, you can do salad. Basically, whatever you already do in the morning, you just add it to it. You don't have to go out of your way. That for me is the best, because I get lazy. I'm the queen of buying stuff that ends up in the back of my pantry, glaring at me, knowing that I spend a ton of money on it. So what I love about hemp is I don't have to grind it up like flaxseed. I can just add it to it. So we have our tomatoes in here, all ready to go. Next, we're gonna take some fresh basil. I really like using fresh ingredients. Not only is it good for you, but it really lends to the flavor of the hemp. One of the things about hemp is that there is actually no known allergens. So anybody that has a nut allergy, listen up, you're good to go. You can add this to your pestos, you can add it to a pasta and substitute it pecans. So finally you can enjoy the beautiful taste of a nut without the worry of the allergies. So I've got some basil in there. Next, again, keeping with the freshness, we have some fresh garlic. I've got 3 cloves here that I'm gonna chop up. So when I was starting hemp, one of the biggest things I asked, and let me back up, I actually lost my job first. And I cried and I got really upset. I drank a little bit of tequila and then I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. So why I started Happy Hemp was because even though I lost my job, it was a blessing in disguise. I really honestly was not happy and my digestion was absolutely horrible. Add the garlic into the basil and the fresh tomatoes, and now we're gonna drizzle a heavy drizzle with olive oil. I love olive oil. I think the flavor just lends to whatever you're already doing. So here I am, I have no job, my stomach is upset, really kick me in the teeth, what else could happen? So I had started taking hemp seeds because I had an upset stomach, things weren't going on, stress leads to all other things, I was taking medicine. I just thought there had to be a better way. I was too young to be subjected to a pill every single day of my life. So basically, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. All I'm doing is figuring it out like you, and then I share it with you. So for me, adding the hemp to my diet really kickstarted me into thinking differently and more about prevention. So I just added a little salt and pepper and olive oil. Now I have a half a cup of hemp, and I'm just gonna sprinkle that right in. Okay, for all of you who always say, I can't cook, do you see any cooking? We're chopping and pouring. This is really easy, anybody can do it. Balsamic vinegar, you can actually do it with or without it. I like a little bit of a kick, so we're just gonna, again, lightly drizzle, like that. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna stir it. So stir all the ingredients together, and basically you're gonna set it aside. It's gonna marinate a little bit. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up a little bit. So one of the reasons that Happy Hemp kind of actually saved my life in a way was not only because it's a healthy product, but it changed the way that I thought. I had forgot to smell the roses, drink wine. That is good. and just enjoy myself. Like, I did not see my friends, I did not see my family, and this is an extension of me starting over. So now we're just gonna use the same cutting board, we're gonna dry it off, and we're gonna flip it over. So we're representing Texas, because I just moved to Austin. Sorry about that, Texas. All right, so now we have the dry board, and we're gonna take our baguette, and we're gonna cut it up. So we're gonna angle it, we're gonna make it fancy smanchy. And you wanna keep them like a half an inch to an inch apart. The idea is you're gonna eat this with your fingers, not overdoing it. Like so. So when you're a kid, your mom always asks you, what do you wanna be when you grow up? Olive oil, brush. And I was one of those kids that actually was never able to answer that question. I really honestly didn't know. But one thing that I do know that then led me to Happy Hemp was I wanted to be happy. And happiness is really a difficult thing to come across. It's not something that you know how to buy. It's not something that you know how to sew or cook. The idea of happiness is actually being happy right where you are. I was always the girl that thought if I could afford one more handbag, I would be a better person, or I was striving for something that I was never gonna attain. So finally, in my life, I'm happy right where I am. And that has a lot to do with my kitchen and food and serving my friends. Okay, so you've got the bread. We're gonna move this one because it's the heel. So you have the bread ready to go. It's simple, there's nothing to it. You're literally just gonna spoon this on in a healthy portion. You want it to kind of overflow. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You want it to just be the centerpiece and jump off the table. You don't even need flowers when you're serving this. So when is bruschetta good for you? Well, let's see. Lunchtime, appetizers, having friends over. It's perfectly great anytime, any season, rain or shine. And with the Happy Hemp in it, you got the added protein, as I mentioned, more than meat, fish, and tofu, and it kind of kicks it up a notch. So your friends will be impressed. You didn't even cook. We made all of this in about 15, 20 minutes. And at the end of the day, you have a healthy meal and you can finish it. And guess what? I'm pretty happy. Happy bruschetta, happy life, happy hemp. Thanks for coming.